Reggie Jackson, Bill Buckner, Kirk Gibson, or Jack Morris. And players' stats seem less important than their salary, the price of their autograph, or the value of their rookie card. And incredibly, only in baseball do the businessmen, the owners, tell their customers that their product was not only better in the good old days, but what they're seeing today is overpriced. But you know something? It wasn't better. Cecil Fielder's homers traveled just as far as the Babes. You can't put Devon White's catch-up against Willie's. And you can't deny that the intensity of a Clemens, Dykstra, and Mattingly isn't every bit as fierce as the heroes of a child of the Depression. Someone once said that baseball must be a great game to succeed despite the people who run it. And the game indeed is still great. What's wrong is that in all their promotion, they've forgotten what the game is all about. And they've forgotten the skills of the men who play it. Just watch Ken Griffey's athletic and instinctive genius, Nolan Ryan's 46-year-old fastball, David Cohn's physics-defying curveball, Robbie Alomar's dash, Ozzy's acrobatics, X-determination. Really now, does anyone in America love his job more than Kirby? In this, the first season to open without a commissioner since the Black Sox scandal which created the office, it may be that these same people who do run baseball are figuring out that the game transcends any owner. They're addressing the game's lag time. And some are even trying to bring the union into the decision-making process to end 25 years of labor strife and focus the public's attention back to the artistry of a Will Clark swing or a Paul Molitor steal. Bart Giamatti once said that baseball was designed to break our hearts. As we begin this seasonal journey, we should remember that baseball is not about labor, but about a love of an art, performed on a hot August afternoon when nothing else matters but this game.
Jersey?
Over a dozen of them.
So Budweiser doesn't have to truck their beer clean across the country.
So you know it's fresh.
Right.
Is that my beer in New Jersey?
Before there were airbags, fuel injectors, big block V8s, fins, rack and pinion steering, wipers, radios, or even steering wheels. Kelly Springfield is building tires. Kelly Springfield, America's oldest tire company.
The hand on the left is waxing a car with an old sock. On the right is the Black & Decker Handy Buffer. It's 25 times faster and so easy, it'll knock your socks off. The Black & Decker Handy Buffer. The quick finish power sander from Black & Decker. To do as much as easily, your hand would have to move this fast and be equipped with a handy on-off switch. The quick finish power sander. Now get great deals during Black & Decker's home improvement days.
Court is now in session. What's the charge?
That Foot Locker's got the ultimate outdoor basketball collection.
What's their evidence?
The Nike Air Raid, Reebok Boulevard Blacktop, the Fila Cage, and the Converse Throw Mat.
Does the defense rest?
Never.
The verdict?
We find Foot Locker guilty as charged of having the ultimate outdoor basketball collection.
We got next.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful right now, and the one thing, of course, that we'll keep an eye on is how well the starting pitchers will do, if their stamina is going to be okay. But first, you know, we talked to Don Bailey yesterday, and we asked him if this club is ready.
This club was ready for that particular day for about 5 or 6 days prior to this. because we kind of wavered a little, and everyone's in shape, everyone's ready to go. You played also, so you know that time when you're ready to play. And a lot of our players got a lot of at-bats in spring training, so they're just kind of spinning their wheels for the last 4 or 5 days.
Charlie, this is the happiest that he has looked. And as a former player, I can tell you that for him, this is the best part of the day right now, because the game is just about ready to begin. He can put the interviews, he can put the media behind him, and now he can do what he does best, and that's manage a baseball game.
And you can tell by the smile on his face that he is going to enjoy today.
That's right. He doesn't have to answer any more questions for the next 3 hours, and he can do what he is paid to do, and that's to help this 25-man roster pick up a W.
Interesting, though, he felt ball club was ready a few days ago.
Yeah, he said that, you know, we're ready, but we were ready maybe 5 or 6 days ago, and he watched his club develop throughout the course of spring training, and he felt like it had peaked towards the end of their stay in Tucson. And you have to play the rest of those games, but I think he would have liked to have started the season right then and there.
But I think also part of that development was this past weekend against the Minnesota Twins in a big league ballpark.
Well, it's nice to go to a facility that is big league atmosphere. And, of course, there is no more big league atmosphere than to come to New York and play in the Big Apple. So I think it is part of spring training to prepare yourself for the regular season, and part of the preparation is to go to a big league town and play in a big league ballpark. And most of these guys have played in the major leagues, but a few of them have to experience that too.
But also, even the ones that have played in the major leagues, not that many have had that starting mantle and had the pressure to carry. And now it's mine. It is my position. It is mine to lose.
Oh, that's right. Guys like Gerald Clark or Dante Bichette, Andres Galarraga, never before have they been the marquee guys. And all of a sudden now, on this ball club, they're the guys that people are looking at to carry them. And it's important that those three fellas who may not have been the marquee guys on other clubs now handle that load.
And Fay Vincent, the former commissioner of baseball, is being introduced here. There he is right in the middle. Just to the right of Don Baylor, to Don Baylor's right. He's going to throw out the first pitch already. That looked like a split finger. There's Jerry McMorris, the head man.
And his wife, Mary. This has to be such a special day for them.
Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Red Sox are sincerely honored to have to throw out today's first ball, Commissioner of Baseball, Fay Vincent.
We talked to Fay Vincent, you and I, before the game, and he, I think, had that look in his eye like this was a pretty special moment for him, too.
Yes.
When he was commissioner, he just loved to come out to the ballpark, sit in the front row, talk to the fans, and watch a baseball game. That was very relaxing.
And he would stay after the game and talk with everybody. So as always on opening day, this is the mayor of New York who is being introduced to mixed reviews, as the mayor of New York always has.
That's right. If you get cheered, I think you probably go back to your office and wonder, what have I done wrong? The other thing about opening day is normally if they say it's going to start at 2:10, it generally will start about 2:20.
Yes.
And, you know, that's something that you just kind of have to plan for. For David Nied, he has to make sure that he's not ready 10 minutes before he should be. So he's down in the bullpen right now. You saw a glimpse of him before. He's down there throwing, and Larry Bernarth will keep an eye on the festivities and slow him down if it's necessary. But right now, I'm not so sure you can slow down a 24-year-old who is starting the first game in franchise history.
But also, interestingly enough, he is returning to the site where he pitched in his first major league game. And that was here in Shea Stadium with 35,000 people looking on at that time. He had been called up from the Atlanta Braves AAA ball club at Richmond. He pitched 7 innings. He allowed 1 run. He struck out 4 in his major league debut. And by the time October was over, he helped the Braves reach the World Series. He'd accumulated a 1.17 ERA in 23 innings. He had struck out 19. Now, that's all well and good. But I think the key number there, 23 innings. So he has a long way to go.
Yeah, he does. And I'm sure that his first start for the Atlanta Braves didn't nearly have the buildup that this start.
Oh, that's true.
And, you know, this is something that if he tries to, if he's in Arizona, he's trying to maybe put it aside and not think about it, people remind him every day.
Oh, yeah.
And ask him about.
Including us.
Including
every
us.
time we'd go by.
Many times. And
5 days to go, David. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Charlie. I really needed that.
There you see the Rockies catcher, Joe Girardi. That is the finger on his catching hand, and usually that's the finger that catchers will keep out of the glove, or if they prefer to keep it inside, then they will tape it up, because that's where the ball a lot of times will hit that finger right through the leather of the catcher's mitt.
Today it's the Colorado Rockies and the New York Mets. We're in Shea Stadium in New York. The temperature is going to reach into the mid, possibly to the upper 50s. As the New York Mets take the field. The 1993 New York Mets with a good spring training. Not a great spring training, coming off of 2 disastrous years. The last 10 days of spring training, when the starters began to play 7 and 8 innings, is when they finally started to play the baseball that they expect this ball club to play throughout the year.
Well, they're a very talented team, one that has as good a chance to win the National League East as the other team. And I think because of their experience and the potential in their pitching staff, I would say that they have to be the favorites to win it.
And now it's time for the Rocky Mountain News starting lineup for the Colorado Rockies. It'll be Eric Young at second base, Alex Cole in center field, Dante Bichette in right field, Andres Galarraga at first, Gerald Clark in left, Charlie Hayes at third, Joe Girardi, you saw him a moment ago, will be the catcher, Freddie Benavides is at short, and David Nied is the pitcher. Defensively for the New York Mets, Vince Coleman, Joe Orsulak, Bobby Bonilla. That's the outfield left to right, with Howard Johnson and Tony Fernandez on the left side of the infield. Jeff Kent and Eddie Murray on the right side of the infield, and Todd Hundley will be the catcher. On the mound is the doctor, Dwight Gooden.
Yeah, Dwight Gooden, coming off a season where he was under 500 for the first time, 10 and 13 with a 367 earned run average. He is 28 years old. Believe it or not, this is his 10th major league season. And he is a 2-pitch pitcher. He has a terrific fastball, a sharp breaking curveball. If he is getting both of those pitches over the plate, he can be very difficult.
And Eric Young will lead it off.
And this is what Eric Young's thoughts were about leading off this game.
I thought about it a little bit. I guess it'll hit me more once I get on the flight headed towards New York. But, you know, it's a lot to think about. Also think about I'm seeing my family. Also think about Gooden. Also think about New York and Anita. But I guess actually it'll hit me when I walk up to the batter's box. You know, this is history.
It is history, and he does have a lot of thoughts, so doesn't he? And we're set to go. Gooden delivers. Strike one. And that ball will go into the Hall of Fame. And Gooden says, wait a minute, where's the ball? Throw it back to me.
I felt pretty good about that.
Yes, I like that ball. Here's the pitch. And he comes a little high.
Jeff Torberg was saying before the game about Gooden, many people felt he had a horrible spring training. He said that his velocity was pretty good. and that a couple of his games, they played in games where the wind was blowing out. A lot of fly balls left the ballpark. Consequently, he gave up a lot of earned runs.
And the 2-1 pitch. The bunt out in front. And Hundley throws him out. And you are seeing an example of Baylor ball. The bunt, the steal, the hit and run. We've seen it in the spring, and we'll see it in the regular season. And with one down, here's the center fielder, Alex Cole. Cole hit .303 in the spring. And Gooden gets ahead of him on the count, just as he did Eric Young. And here's the pitch, and it's inside. And the 1-1 pitch from Gooden is high and away.
Looks like in the early part here that Gooden, if he takes a little bit off his fastball, he can get it over for a strike.
This one is lined to right field, and Bobby Bonilla is there. And we have 2 down. And with 2 away, here's the right fielder for the Colorado Rockies, Dante Bichette. Gooden still has a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. He just doesn't have it as often as he used to have.
And he's not going to try to throw at 93 on every pitch like he used to when he was younger.
And he misses low and away for ball 1.
That's what Jim Palmer was so good at when he won all those games with the Orioles. He would throw 87, 88, but when he needed a strikeout, he'd throw 92, 93.
A swing and a miss. Gooden coming off of a mediocre season in '92. His record was 10-13, 3.67 ERA. Had rotator cuff problems, had some surgery. And he is back. No question about it. And it's a little low. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. No score. Top of the first, we have 2 away. And Dante Bichette, who hit .319 in the spring. And yesterday afternoon, in the top of the 9th, had a 2-run home run against the Twins. Strike 2.
Other thing you have to remember about Dante Bichette, this is a new league for him. He has seen the doctor for the first time. He may have faced him in spring training, but during the regular season, when it counts, this is the first time.
And as you can tell, the fans in with every pitch. Foul back. Gooden, the youngest pitcher to win the Cy Young Award at age 21 in 1985. Two balls, 2 strikes to count to Bichette. And he jams him and he fouls it out of play. And an opening day souvenir.
Now, this is the type of day, if you're a fan, not only do you want to wear your gloves to keep your hands warm, but it might be a good idea if you're thinking about catching any pop-ups for souvenirs, you may need the cushion. It's a little brisk out there.
And the 2-2 pitch. This one is lined to right. Bonilla going back, turns, makes the play at the warning track. 3 up and 3 down. We're in the middle of the first inning, and we have no score. The Colorado Rockies and the New York Mets.
When you're thirsty, you need a squirt. Because there's nothing like our refreshing blend of citrus flavors. Give your thirst a squirt.
True Temper's Rhino tools come with rugged fiberglass handles that are impervious to weather, no matter how long you leave them out.
So that's where I left that shovel.
At the True Temper display where you buy tools.
original.
We move to the bottom of the first inning. The Rocky Mountain News starting lineup for the New York Mets. Vince Coleman will lead it off in left. Tony Fernandez is the shortstop. Eddie Murray at first. Bobby Bonilla in right field. Hojo Howard Johnson is back at third. Joe Orsulak is in center. Jeff Kent is at second. Todd Hundley is the catcher. And Dwight Gooden is the pitcher. Defensively for the Colorado Rockies, Gerald Clark, Alex Cole, and Dante Bichette in the outfield from left to right, with Charlie Hayes and Freddie Benavides on the left side of the infield. Eric Young and Andres Galarraga on the right side, and Joe Girardi is the catcher. On the mound is David Nied.
Charlie, I talked with David Nied yesterday at the Metrodome, and this is what he had to say about today.
Well, you know, I think once I hit the plane tonight and head on to New York, I think everything will start sinking in a little bit more. I'll relive a little bit of last year when I made my first start there against New York. Probably think about Vince Coleman a little bit because he is the first guy I'll face, and probably start getting a little bit of goosebumps by then. But hope I get a good night's sleep. I want to go out there and try to not do more than I can do. I want to, if I throw 90, I don't want to go out there and try to throw 95. I want to stay within myself, work the hitters, and hopefully good things will happen.
I think it's very important what he said. If you can throw 90, throw 90. Don't try and throw 91. Do what you can do.
That's right. And don't try to do more than what you're capable of doing. And what he needs to do is throw strikes, keep the ball low, and have fun. Now, who said that?
I think that David Nied said that earlier, yes. Is that where we heard it? Here's Vince Coleman, the left fielder, to lead it off for the Mets. And Nied misses for ball one.
Nied will throw a fastball, a slider, and a changeup. And the Bear, Larry Bernarth, was telling us that his best pitch this spring has been his slider.
And the 1-0 pitch. And this will carry foul into the stands. A ball and a strike to Vince Coleman.
It would do a lot for David Nied to be able to keep Coleman off the bases, because he can disrupt you so much that he can give you a miserable first inning.
In the last 2 years, Coleman has been plagued by injuries. He's played in only 143 games over the last 2 years. He has had what some have said is an attitude problem. He's had some confrontations with his manager. In the offseason, he took martial arts lessons. That kind of panicked everybody. They said this was the nicest spring that he has had. Notice how I just kept sliding right through that. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Vince Coleman.
Now, problems with the manager and then take martial arts in the offseason.
Yeah.
Not a good formula.
No. But it does catch your attention. One ball, 2 strikes to count to Vince Coleman. We're in the bottom of the first inning. He leads it off for New York.
It was interesting what Coleman just did. He started the at-bat wearing gloves. He has since taken them off.
It's warming up.
I've never seen that before.
And the 1-2 pitch from Nied. And he strikes him out. So David Nied opens the ball game with a strikeout.
Now, Coleman had a little better success with the gloves on. At least he fouled them off. Here's that hard slider we were talking about. Larry Bernard said it was his best pitch. Well, in this at-bat, it was his best pitch to Vince Coleman.
And that'll bring up Tony Fernandez, the shortstop, an all-star shortstop.
There's the Bear.
4 Golden Gloves. Goes with the bunt. Takes his stand for ball 1.
Think of all the quality things that the Mets did to improve themselves. This is the best one. This guy is going to help them tremendously.
And he fouls this one back. A ball and a strike to Tony Fernandez. He came to the Mets from the Padres as part of a fire sale. They had to get rid of him because they were running out of time, and they didn't really get that much for him. Wally Whitehurst, DJ Dozier, and a minor leaguer. A ball and a strike. 1 away, no score, bottom of the first inning. And it's low, 2-1.
Well, the time has finally arrived for Don Baylor. And now he can manage.
Three and 1 to Fernandez. Already a couple of firsts in the ball game. First pitch, first strikeout. And a full count now to Tony Fernandez.
Here you see Eddie Murray in the on-deck circle.
And he walks it. And that is the first walk of the ball game. And here is Eddie Murray, the first baseman. Last year, the Mets' most productive hitter. On the media guide last year, the manager, Jeff Torborg, Bobby Bonilla, Eddie Murray, and Saberhagen throw to first. And Fernandez is back. And of that group, Eddie Murray had the best year. Murray steps out. And now we're set to go. And it's fouled back.
Talked about Tony Fernandez and what he can do to make a team so much better. Obviously, we know that he's a special player defensively. But offensively, he's got a little pop where he can hit the ball in the alleys. And if he gets on first base, he can also steal a base for you. He runs well.
Base hit into right field, and Fernandez heads for third. Here is the throw. And the Mets now with runners on the corner. And that is the first hit of the ball game.
Well, you have that opening between first and second. Eddie Murray looking for a pitch on the inside part of the plate. He gets it and he drives it right by Andres Galarraga.
And here is the slimmed down version of Bobby Bonilla. He dropped almost 30 pounds in the offseason. And the breaking pitch misses low for ball one. Now, one of the things you must remember about David Nied is he is a slow starter. He will get himself into all kinds of problems in the first inning and then work his way out and then settle in. Here's the pitch. And it's popped out. Girardi comes back and makes the play. And we have two down.
And it doesn't take the fans very long to welcome Bobby Bonilla back to New York. Here's a chance for an RBI, and Bonilla pops it straight back. Girardi gets rid of the mass. And that's so he doesn't throw it in an area where he might step on it. He gets rid of it and he makes the play.
And the next hitter will be the third baseman, Howard Johnson. And he is happy to get out of the outfield and be back at third.
Sometimes, Charlie, a player that will move defensively back to a comfortable position will really help him offensively.
And Nied is low, and inside is Fernandez, comes faking down the base paths from third. Tony Fernandez, the runner at third, and Eddie Murray is aboard at first. And the count, 1 ball, no strikes with 2 away to Howard Johnson. No score. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Ball 2.
Well, now Don Baylor has instructed Andres Galarraga to play behind Eddie Murray, just to take a little bit of that hole away from first and second. You figure with the count 2-0, Hojo would get a pretty good pitch, and he'd be able to drive it in that hole if he had an opportunity.
Murray is going for first, the fake of the throw. And Eddie Murray has a stolen base. So now the Mets have 2 runners in scoring position. Eddie Murray, you see here now at second, Fernandez at third.
And when you don't hold the runner on, this is the chance that you take. And Murray, I'm sure, on his own, once Galarraga got off the bag, took advantage of it and stole second.
And the count at the plate, 2 balls and a strike. Bottom of the first inning, we have 2 outs. Nied delivers, and he's outside 3-1.
It was interesting. After Nied delivered that pitch, and it was high and outside, he took a look to see who was in the on-deck circle. In other words, thinking that if it's somebody I wouldn't mind pitching to, I don't have to lay one in here to Howard Johnson.
And it's Joe Orsulak. And this is fouled off. Orsulak in the on-deck circle is the starting center fielder for Ryan Thompson. They wanted Thompson to start, but over the weekend he came up with a pulled hamstring. Three balls, 2 strikes to count to Howard Johnson. Fernandez at third, Murray at second. And here's the pitch. And he strikes him out for his second strikeout in the ballgame. Nied works his way out of trouble. After 1, we are scoreless.
Announcing Buick's incredible 90th anniversary LeSabre special, specially priced at just $18,999, only at your Lehigh Valley Buick dealer. Buick LeSabre, Consumers Digest Best Buy, just became an even better buy. $18,999 for a LeSabre with airbag, anti-lock brakes, power windows, power lock, 6-way power seat, cruise, rear defroster cassette. A very well-equipped LeSabre, just $18,999 for a limited time at your Lehigh Valley Buick dealer.
STS, yes.
STS, yes.
At STS Car Service Centers, when we tell you the time your car will be ready, it's ready. That's because our auto technicians are also part owners. And we know getting your car on time is one more good reason you'll want to come back again.
Pirelli P300 all-season radials with a 60,000-mile limited warranty. Now on sale at STS. Priced from $39.95. Hurry to STS. Offer ends May 3rd.
Hello?
Hi, honey.
Hey, you. I thought you'd call sooner.
The plane was delayed.
So the meeting went all right?
Yeah, no problem. So how's Allison?
Oh, just the end of a cold. She went to bed early. I miss you.
Me too. Well, look, I'll be home before you know it. Sweet dreams, honey.
See you soon. Love you. Bye.
Protect the ones you love. Call Altronic Security Systems today.
And that is the baby face of David Nied.
Well, he wasn't a baby, pitching to Howard Johnson. And this is the pitch to end the inning and get Nied out of a jam.
And boy, did we get him out in a hurry. Zap, zap. You didn't realize.
Get that on the radar.
Whoa, the smoke that he had. Now let's try it at real speed. No, that's
low heat.
That was in slow motion. Andres Galarraga to lead off the top of the second inning. Did you have the jug gun on that first replay? 322 miles an hour. Boy, this is sneaky fast. He did not go around, and the count to the big cat, 2 balls and no strikes.
Every time it looks like Gooden wants to get a little extra, he can't control the fastball. It's way out of the strike zone.
Base hit. First hit for the Colorado Rockies.
Now, will they take this ball and throw it out? They certainly should.
Oh, should, yes.
And Harry Wendelstedt, veteran umpire, will take it and toss it into the Rockies dugout.
That's right.
And there you see the owner's box, and don't you think they're having a good time?
Oh, yes.
Take a look at this historic base hit. Fastball down and away, and a line drive into center field.
And so Andres Galarraga is aboard at first with a base hit. And Gerald Clark is the batter. Ooh, and Gooden comes high and tight.
The point really, Charlie, I'm trying to make with Gooden's fastball, when he throws it for a strike, it's very hittable because the velocity isn't there. When he really humps up and tries to throw it hard, you can't hit it because it's out of the strike zone.
Fly ball, shallow right field. It may drop. And going out from second base is Jeff Kent. Good play. So Kent chased it all the way out, and we have one down.
Next up, number 13, Charlie Hayes.
Well, as a second baseman, when the ball leaves the bat, you know that you're the only player that's got a shot at catching this ball. Bonilla can't get it. Obviously, Eddie Murray can't. Jeff Kent did, and he made a nice play.
And now we have one down. Galarraga is still aboard at first, and the batter is Charlie Hayes, the third baseman. And Gooden misses with the breaking ball.
And that's the first breaking ball that we have seen. And again, you have to keep in mind, if he can throw it over for a strike, usually that's when he can be very difficult.
Here's the pitch. And it's fouled out of play. Rocky fans, now is a good time for you to break open an ice-cold Budweiser to enjoy the fresh, pure, natural taste. Nothing beats a Bud. When we talked to Charlie on the plane last night coming in from Minnesota, he said he was interested in the reception that he might get today, because when he was with the Phillies playing here in Chase, he was in the middle of a major Donnybrook with the New York Mets. But he had a pretty good reception. Galarraga back at first, and the count at the plate, a ball and a strike.
Well, he had such a good year for the Yankees that the fans did not forget that.
The big cat is going, the hit and run. Throw to first, Galarraga goes to third, he's safe. And that is Baylor ball. As Hayes is thrown out at first, Galarraga, who was off on the hit and run, never broke stride.
And our first beef between manager and umpire. Hernandez with a little flip, and then Eddie Murray's got to go across the diamond. And from up here, it looked like he was safe. Of course, if this were the best view for umpires, this is where they would put them.
Of course.
And Hojo got kicked. He may have gotten spiked on the slide by Galarraga. But you're right, a good example here in the second inning on what Don Baylor wants, and that's his players to be aggressive. Eddie Murray with the long throw. And the swipe tag by Hojo. And Galarraga saying, I'm safe.
And Angel Hernandez, the third base umpire, agrees with him. 2 away, Galarraga is at third. And Joe Girardi, the catcher, is the next batter. And here's the pitch. And he pops it up. Murray comes in and makes the play. No runs on a hit and a man left. We're in the middle of the second. We have no score. The Rockies and the Mets.
Well, we want to be together, but not too close together.
It's their first visit. I have a small car, and they are my parents.
For the way you travel, today more than ever, the smart money is on budget. Rent a minivan with unlimited mileage for just $249 per week. The smart money is on budget.
Add a piece of chicken, add a piece of fish, and sometimes you can add a piece to any meal you wish. We can do that. Yeah, we can do that. Long John Silver, goldfish. We can do that.
The new G Series with 4-wheel steering from Kubota.
Budweiser, king of beers.
Welcome back to Shea Stadium. We have no score. The Colorado Rockies and the New York Mets will move now to the bottom of the second inning. And for the Mets, Joe Orsulak, Jeff Kent, and the catcher, Todd Hundley. How long does it take the jitters to go away on opening day?
Generally, Charlie, it's gone after you're involved in something, whether it be a ground ball, whether you've been to the plate. And for David Nied, I think that they're gone because he was in trouble in the first inning and he got out of it. So now everything should be a little bit easier for him, although I hope he pitches the rest of the way like he did to Howard Johnson.
Orsulak squares as if he wanted to bunt. Charlie Hayes in on the grass at third. And Galarraga coming down from first. Orsulak hitting .328 in the spring. And it's fouled away. 0-2 the count at the plate. Orsulak with the Orioles last year. He led Baltimore in hitting .289 last year with 4 home runs and 39 RBIs. And the 0-2 pitch is high. David Nied with a pair of strikeouts as he bookended the bottom of the first inning. He opened with a strikeout of Vince Coleman, and he closed it with a strikeout of Howard Johnson. And the count goes to 2-2. And it's fouled away. You have a theory that we see more foul balls off of left-handed hitters.
Seems like we do, and I think a lot of it has to do with right-handed pitchers pitching those left-handed hitters away. They constantly try to keep that ball away as opposed to busting them on the inside part of the plate. A lot of foul balls over the third base dugout.
This one is lined over the head of Galarraga. And Orsulak takes a big turn and then puts on the brakes. So Orsulak opens the bottom of the second with a hit.
Now the reputation of Dante Bichette and the strength of his arm has obviously reached the National League.
Yes. It is hard to run on him. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Jeff Kent, who made that outstanding defensive play in the last half inning. How tough is that play to go out as far as he did?
Well, what you do is it's a lot like what we talked about at the Metrodome. You really, the ball's not hit high enough where you can take your eye off of it to see where that left fielder is. So it's a tough play.
Orsulak, the runner at first. Jeff Kent came over from Toronto in the David Cone deal last year. Throw to first. And Orsulak is back. Kent is young, talented, good power. He's 25. He has good speed, but he does strike out a lot.
Anytime you're looking at the bottom of the order coming up, rarely will you see a team bunt, but once in a while you'll see teams try to move the runners along by way of the hit and run.
Here's the pitch. Call strike.
And the reason for that is you're not going to advance the runners into scoring position. You're not going to give up an out when you're that low to the bottom of the order, because obviously your 8th and 9th place hitters aren't that good of hitters, and especially the 9th place hitter, which is the pitcher. So you want to let those guys swing the bat.
Pitch out. And Orsulak was not going. A ball and a strike to Jeff Kent. We're in the bottom of the second inning. We have no score. Here's the pitch.
Well, Joe Girardi's going to go out and he's going to say, okay, listen, kid, we know that those last 2 balls were not your fault because they were called from the dugout. Now, you have to calm down. The team has put you behind in the count, so that's not your fault. So just settle down, relax, and try to get a strike here to Jeff Kent. As you could see, he was almost, his body language almost said he was a little bit disgusted.
Yeah, why am I doing this? And the 2-1 pitch. And he misses low and away, and the count is 3 balls and a strike. On deck is the catcher, Todd Hundley. Orsulak at first, a leadoff single in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch. And it's a full count. Second time in the ball game that David Nied has taken a batter to a full count. The last was Howard Johnson, and then he struck him out to end the bottom of the first.
Well, now we'll see if Jeff Torborg has Orsulak moving. Count 3-2. Generally, you'll see managers take advantage of that count and start that runner.
Orsulak is going, and it's fouled into the stand. Come visit your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer, where you'll find great deals on the hottest lineup for '93 during the biggest little car blowout. It's going on right now. And with the leadoff single to Orsulak and the full count to Kent, the pace of the game has certainly slowed down. Three-two pitch. Runner is going. Lined over the shortstop's head. Orsulak goes to third. The throw comes into second. And once again, the New York Mets have runners on the corners.
Well, this wasn't all David Nied's fault. He had to come in with the count 3-2. So Kent had a good pitch to hit. The reason he had to come in, he threw 2 pitch outs. And that left him behind in the count.
Orsulak's the runner at third. Jeff Kent is aboard at first. There are no outs. We're in the bottom of the second inning, and the catcher, Todd Hundley, is the hitter. Excellent defensive catcher. He's a weak hitter, 188 in the spring.
This is a good spot, though, Charlie. If you're David Nied, you got the bottom of the order. Work hard on these next 2 guys, and you could get out of the jam.
Here's the pitch. And he'll pull it foul. He catches this one. Hundley hit only .209 last year, but he hit .232 in the second half of the season. And he had a total of 7 home runs.
Yeah, he's got a little pop. In other words, if you set aside his weak batting average and you look for that silver lining, he can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Here's the pitch. High fly ball. Bichette comes in. And here is the throw. They'll cut it off. Again, the respect for the arm of Dante Bichette. And with one away, here is the pitcher, Doc Gooden.
Now Dante gets himself in position, one-hands it, and if there had been one out instead of no outs, you may have seen Mike Cubbage, the third base coach, send the third base runner, Joe Orsulak.
And Gooden is an excellent hitter.
Well, you see the graphic. 264 led all National League pitchers last year.
In fact, one of the few National League pitchers to be used as a pinch hitter. One down. The Mets still have runners at the corners. We have no score. We're in the bottom of the second inning, and for the second time in the ball game, David Nied trying to pitch his way out of trouble.
And Charlie, he would be a very good switch hitter, but they do not want him hitting left-handed because it exposes his throwing arm when he bats left-handed.
And the Mets starting lineup is loaded with switch hitters. Here's the pitch. Hayes to home. And he is out. So Girardi holds on to the baseball. And Orsulak is out at the plate.
Well, Gooden just hits a little dribbler. The thing that Charlie Hayes has to do is make sure that he gets Girardi the ball in time so that he can block the plate. And he blocks it off. There's no way that Orsulak can get in there. He kicked him a little bit, but by that time he was out.
So now with two away, the Mets have Kent at second, and Gooden is aboard at first on the fielder's choice, and the hitter is Vince Coleman, who is 0 for 1. He struck out to lead off the bottom of the first. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Vince Coleman.
They just called a ball. Not a balk, a ball on David Nied because he went to his mouth. And that's second base umpire Ed Rapuano, who said Nied went to his mouth. Remember we talked in spring training that Nied did that once in a while?
No.
All right, now this is what he's doing, and by that time the umpire had told him that he had gone to his mouth.
Here's the pitch, and it's low.
Gooden, the base runner at first, thought that he had called a balk, and he started to go to second.
So the count at the plate is now 3 balls and no strikes to Vince Coleman. Here's the pitch. And it's strike 1. 3-1. Kent at second. Gooden at first. Here's the pitch. Strike 2.
The thing that always bothered me about the fact that if you go to your mouth, they call a ball. Now, you can put Vaseline in your glove, razor blades, everything else. That's fine.
That's fine.
But
yes.
if you go to your mouth,
aha! It's a gotcha. Three-two pitch. Both runners going. May be playable by Hayes. And David Nied gets out of the second inning. After 2, no score. Rockies and the Mets.
"99 years ago, we built our first Kelly Springfield tire. In that time, Americans invented TV. We fought in 2 world wars. We flew the first airplane. and settled the West. We all had to start somewhere, and someone had to be first. Kelly Springfield, America's oldest tire company.
This is it. Bottom of the ninth, tie score, 2-out, full count. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball, and Ventura connects. A hot liner up the middle. It's still rising. Johnson leaps, and it's off the wall. He's rounding second. The ball drops. McRae scoops it up and wings it toward Pendleton. Here's the play at the plate, and he's safe. It's unbelievable, and that's the game. Now here's the wrap-up. Fleer, a game in every pack.
Baseball, baseball. That's the fever now. Baseball, baseball. Let me show you how. Hardball, making the connection. Dirt. Slide in, don't change your direction. Smoke 'em, bake 'em. Dominate by shit intimidation. Throw heat. Play the window, pastime of the nation. Baseball, baseball. That's the fever now. Baseball, baseball. Let me show you how. Check it out. Catch the fever. Everybody can catch the fever.
A message from Major League Baseball.
Today's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. We go now to the top of the third inning, and Freddie Benavides, David Nied, and then Eric Young, the top of the order for the Rockies. And the shortstop, Freddie Benavides, to lead it off. Freddie hit .339 in the spring. And here's the pitch. And Howard Johnson throws him out, and we have one away. To give you a comparison, in the first 2 innings, Dwight Gooden, a total of 23 pitches. David Nied, 43 pitches.
Well, it'll be important for David Nied to mix in a couple of innings right here where he only has a 7 to 15 pitch inning.
And here is David Nied. One ball, no strikes to count, one away. We have no score. And he fouls it off. Fly ball down the line. And it's going to carry about 6 rows up into the stands. Rockies fans, Domino's and the Colorado Rockies have teamed up to offer you a Rockies pizza special for only $9.99. And every time you order a large one-item pizza, Domino's donates a portion of each sale to the Rockies Youth Foundation. Call Domino's now and be sure to ask for your Rockies special. It's only $9.99. And the 1-2 pitch to Nied, and it's high. A one-hopper to the second baseman, Jeff Kent. He goes to Eddie Murray, and we have 2 away. So Gooden working very efficiently, and he will now face Eric Young. He was thrown out by the catcher on the bunt attempt. And that was in the top of the first inning on a 2-1 pitch. And Eric Young has that megawatt smile from ear to ear.
Well, he's playing in front of a lot of hometown fans. And Eric Young trying to figure out how the smallest guy on the team can have the best breaking ball thrown to him by Dwight Gooden.
Right. A ball and a strike now to Eric Young. The Rockies' 6th overall selection in the expansion draft. He came from the Dodgers. Last year, started the year at Albuquerque, AAA, he hit .337. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Base hit up the middle. And that is the second hit for the Rockies.
Center fielder Alex Cole.
And that'll bring up the center fielder, Alex Cole. Now, during the spring, Eric Young stole 8 bases. That's the good news. He was caught stealing 6 times, and that's the bad news.
And just to tag to that, 3 of those times were yesterday.
Yes.
Ron Hasse.
Ron Hasse. What did Hasse? He's coaches at first. What did he tell him?
He pulled him over. He said, "You're making me look bad." And he said, "Get over here. You're making me look bad.
Yeah.
I've only got a 1-year contract." But if we're talking about the Rockies and the way they like to run, 2 outs. Here's Dwight Gooden, who has a high leg kick. This is a good opportunity for Eric Young.
And Alex Cole, the bat, of the only left-hander in the lineup. And he has that hole between first and second. There's the pitch out.
So Jeff Torborg thinking like we are that Eric Young is going to take off.
Oh, yeah. And he does take off. Here's the throw to second. And Eric Young has the stolen bases. Hundley was way off the mark.
Hundley actually had a pretty good pitch to throw, and there's Eric Young. Little late jump, and then of course with his speed, the acceleration, and with the bad throw, he makes it easily.
2 away. Young's in scoring position. The count 2-0 to Alex Cole. And it's high, 3-0. You may wonder where Dwight Gooden gets the nickname Doc, the doctor of K's of strikeouts. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And it's low, and he walks him on 4 straight pitches. And that is the first walk that Dwight Gooden has given up in the ballgame. And that will bring up Dante Bichette.
And Alex Cole really does his job there. His responsibility is, yeah, I want to get a base hit to drive in the lead run, but at this point also, I'd like to see Dante Bichette get up to the plate because he's more of an RBI guy than I am.